In 1861,
The Sodor and Mainland Railway has been formed, with the line going up between Kirkronan straight to Vicarstown. The railway itself would share the stations of Crovan's Gate and Vicarstown with the neighbouring Ballyhoo and Normanby Railway. The Ballyhoo and Normanby Railway had a fleet of 3 open-cab saddle tanks. But back to the Sodor and Mainland Railway, after it was established,
they would purchase 5 box tank engines to run the railway. Sodor and Mainland's number 2, specifically, out of all of his fellow box tanks, was the only one to have a face, and was named Walter Nielsen. The box tanks would be responsible for shunting in the yards, as well as goods work. But in 1863, passenger service would start to happen on the railway. In 1865, a narrow gauge railway, known as the Scorched Railway, was formed. However, the line needed to be constructed before it could open. So, the Scorched Railway reached out to the Sodor and Mainland Railway, and a deal was formed. The Sodor and Mainland Railway would help the Scorched Railway with construction, and in that same year, Neil would be responsible for transporting Scorched from Kirkronan Harbour straight to Crovan's Gate. With the construction of the Scorched Railway finished, the Sodor and Mainland Railway would be responsible for transporting another engine to the railway. That engine would turn out to be Rheneas. By 1866, new coaches would be constructed to help with the increasing number of passengers. With this, the people of Crovan's Gate will also construct a new class of locomotive for the Sodor and Mainland, being classified as 422 Class 2 locomotives by the railway itself. With this, only one of them was sentient, Sodor and Mainland's number 6, Amelia Emily, named after Parker Boomer's wife, Parker Boomer being one of the directors of the Sodor and Mainland. All 4 of them would handle express work on the Sodor and Mainland, while the box tanks would handle local passenger services, shunting, and goods work. In 1875, the railway would construct 4 tank engines with the 2 full 4-wheel arrangement. All 4 of them would handle local passenger and commuter services, leaving the box tanks to only handle shunting and goods work. It was until 1890 was when the railway constructed 2 062 tank engines to take on the goods work of the railway, now leaving the box tanks to only handle shunting duties. The Class 2 singles were starting to show their age, so by 1896, 3 440s were loaned to the railway. These 3 440s was the LSWRT3, the Great Central Railway's Class 11, and the Furness Railway K1, who would turn out to be Edward. By 1889, Parker Boomer would retire that year at the age of 56 and was replaced by Albert Regaby. The railway would also gain a new chief mechanical engineer, known as Peter Boomer, Parker's son. Peter would design a tender engine class with the 240 wheel configuration to replace the singles on the express services. With 4 of them being built, the LSWR-T3 class and the Great Central Railway's Class 11 would leave the railway. However, Edward would stay on the Sodor and Mainland a lot longer, as the Furness Railway showed no interest on bringing him back, and the railway's operations would still continue just fine until 1914, the year when World War I started. With the war happening, the railway had to haul troop trains, which were taken care of by the 4 singles, Edward, the railway's 4 suburban tank engines, and the railway's Class 5 express engines. Among the troop train was the Sodor Regiment, with Sir Albert Regaby's son, Henry Regaby, joined the regiment to fight in World War I. In 1915, the Sodor and Mainland Railway absorbed the Ballyhoo and Normanby Railway. Not only they would gain another harbour, but they also gained 3 more locomotives, which were tank engines with a 260 wheel arrangement, and are shunters for the Normanby Harbour. All were built in 1904. In 1917, 3 RD280s were purchased, as well as 3 N-Class kits that will be built at Crovan's Gates. Even though the 3 sentient RD engines were purchased, they weren't immediately repainted or named, compared to the 3 N-Class that were kit-built by the Sodor and Mainland, which were painted into the Sodor and Mainland's livery, with only 2 sentient engines out of 3 being given names. Sodor Railway's number 23 would be named Torfin, and Sodor Mainland's number 24 would be named Rolf's Castle. In 1918, when the war ended, all 3 RD280s received numbers, liveries, and names. However, Colonel Henry Regaby, named after Sir Albert Regaby's son and a member of the Sodor Regiment, was painted into a special black livery. He and his 2 ROD brothers, including the kits, would take on the heavy goods trains like they did in the war.
In November 15th of 1918,
The Sodor and Mainland, along with two other companies, were merged into the Northwestern Railway.